Okay, this is my trolling motor project. Been working on for a little bit. I've had it out on the water on the boat 5 times now. It's working really good, except for the steering. Made this. Everything works mechanically, but this particular. So we go over here. That servo. I suspect the motor's okay, but I think the electronics burned out from just constantly steering. So, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead with try dual motor setup. I do have 2 of them, and these are Flipsky 100s. Oh, I got you upside down. (100 kVs, 65 161 e-board motors, and that's what they both are. Got a real good deal on them. They must have been trying to clearance them or something, but I got them for 107 or something like that Canadian, delivered off of Amazon, so that was really good. I am driving. I've only got one prototype up right now. I am driving it with a Flipsky also 75 200, and it's the one that's not water cooled, but I do have a fan that I've placed here. I don't know if you can see down in there, probably not, but so that pulls up air through the all through this to get it to keep cool. Got an off and on button down there too. The reason there's a kind of temporary setup, I've got this 12 volt coming from the battery box. I've got it unplugged right now just so the fan's not running. But this is one of the wires right here. It's heavy duty because I didn't want it, if you trip over it or yank it or something like that, I didn't want it breaking because you don't need much. But I did have this hooked up, and I'm thinking it was the red and the brown to the servo, and then this went over to the, I had it set up 2 different ways. So one way with the radio, with that remote, and there is one of these up in here right now. It's still being used with the 75-200 as a speed control. But I did have it hooked also up to this for turning also. But I had trouble right away with this control. I wasn't able to go left and right with it very well. I mean, it worked sorta, but like if you hit the cruise control and you're moving up and then you're cruising and you go to turn, or in my case at least, it was real sporadic. It would jump, jerk, and it would go all the way and then stop. So I had a tough time with it. And then it stripped out the little plastic coupler here. So I got aluminum to replace that with, but I still didn't like the action of this. So this is only controlling the thrust right now. Forward and reverse, you can, for some reason when you go to cruise control, you gotta hit it like 15 times before it, there, and then it jumps all at once. So might be in a setting though. So anyway, I'm using it for thrust. It's working fine for that. But that's what I was doing with this. And the reason the wires are all busted now, stripped out, is because then I started using the ESP for steering. And that was working really good until I don't think it even lasted 4 hours though, 3 or 4 hours. And then I took the servo completely apart and didn't see any problems. I even tested the servo motor does want to turn, but I think the electronics are fried possibly. So if I go back to a single trolling motor setup, it's probably going to be a bigger servo, like I'm not really sure, a geared servo maybe. I don't know, but something else. Right now I'm just clamping a stick on there and just using it, you know, like a tiller style. Right now this tubing is a shower curtain rod that I found at a secondhand store. And since then I have located these aluminum, pretty nice aluminum. And these are going to be my replacement for when I set that one up. I'll set this up completely first and then take that one apart and do it. But what was I going to say? Yeah, anyway, these would be a lot better. One thing I'd like to show you, let me turn the power off because I don't want to mess anything up. Pulls up pretty nice, easy. Let me show you a little bit about this. This propeller is just a generic, these are 12 millimeter shafts right here. This had like a ball on there. I had to cut that off. But the way this is attached to the bar is just an aluminum adapter plate that, of course, has 4 holes on it to screw in the back of there and a hole in it to allow these wires to come through. And then so they come through and then into this tube. This tube has a cutout for where the wires come in also. It also has a hole in it right here in the center. So this clamp goes through and screws into this coupler. And that keeps it just one more safety thing that doesn't let it slip this way or that way. You know, the wires won't get all wacky in there. Doesn't let it go up and down. I decided to extend it here as a protector for my prop. And you can see that it's gotten rubbed down quite a bit already just with 5 uses. So it's doing its job. Anyway, the clamp, you can see that, you know, like this is a full half circle here. This here is missing some material right here so that, you know, you get a little bit of clamping action. And I just put, you know, 4 holes in it for the clamp. Works really good though. This is just a casing to go around that, and then that screw serves to hold this down. I didn't print this quite right the first time, had to mess with it, but it stays on there. Works good. You just get a couple cranks with the hand and it's good. So that works. Like I said, I put a little bit of an adapter here from this size down to here, but I was going to do another adapter instead of having these holes here. It's probably going to cut it in 2 pieces where these holes would be completely concealed, and then a second piece would have counterbores in the face of it that goes into this piece. And that way there wouldn't be these holes. Not a big deal, but you can see I have about 1 millimeter space. I cut this part of the propeller off. Like I said, it has like a ball-nosed sort of thing, but it does have the slot in the bottom of it for for the dowel pin, so that locks it down, and then you can just hold it down. So that's all good. I did buy one of those white aluminum propellers that everybody has trouble with because they're never centered. They're out of whack all the time. Sure enough, mine was out of whack pretty bad too. So I don't use it, and I won't use it unless, but I will carry it as a backup. So I mean, it will. You don't want to go fast with it, but it'll work. Just makes some noise and vibrates. So if something happened to one or both of my props, I could still get home with that metal one. Yeah, eventually though, probably will do without that. I'll make my own remote and I'll go with ESPs. One of these ESP chips will be in, I might be able to use one of those stamp size, I'm not sure. But I'll put that in a remote and it'll just be doing thrust for the 2 different motors. So they'll just program that, and basically when I want to turn right, or when I want to turn left, I'll turn the left side off, and it'll just, turn me around. Anyway, it'll be remote controlled, fully remote. That's down the road, though. I wanted to do a video when I had everything done, but I'm having too many problems with the steering and a few other things. Actually, another thing is my buddy went out on his with dual motors, but he had 24 volt Minn Kotas, and we're on these little rafts, these aluminum. They're inflatable rafts, and they don't take to the torque of two motor setup very well. So this will probably go on my barrel boat. Yeah, it's not one. Getting some resistance on the floor down there. But yeah, there's right now there's that, like I said, 75-200 in here, and there's one of these little radial, whatever I did with that. Yeah, this radial. There's one of those in here right now, but like I said, it's disconnected from the steering. It's just doing throttle. What else is in there? I think that's it. Yeah, so these wires just go right up in there. Even the connectors are like right here for like my ESC. Oh, and by the way, the ESC does have VESC tool app capabilities for programming, so that's pretty cool. But I don't remember what I was going to say, but oh yeah, the ESC has 8 gauge wires coming out, and they have 90s on them. Each one has a 90, and each wire is using both sides of the 90, and that just gives me more amp throughput because I run too many hours continuous to be splitting it up. But anyway, connectors will sometimes get hot on these things, so they're down in this tube also, so it pulls air past the connection and then past the ESC also. So it shouldn't get too hot. And I guess that's it. Yeah. Oh, I think these aluminum rods are schedule 40 3/4. I think that's some sort of standard. I don't know what they use them for, but they only cost me about $10 each, and they're like 5 foot, so $10 Canadian, including tax. So that's really good. What else? Oh, here's the thing too. These Minn Kotas are about 1 1/8 inch, and even with the 1 1/8 inch, they have little plastic spacers that go in here. And these are only 1.50 thousandths, so they're about, you know, what, 75 thousandths smaller diameter. So another thing I have to do is, if I use it in one of these holders, I have to make a spacer. So there's that. I think that's it. That's it for now. There'll be more on this motor in the future when I do upgrades, when I do the remote upgrade, do the dual motor upgrade. When I'm on the inflatable, it's just going to be this one trolling motor. But when I get on my barrel boat, I'll have a dual motor setup. So when I'm on the inflatable boat, it'll just be stick steering. You know, a stick will be clamped. All this will be gone. In any case, all this will be gone. And I'll clamp a stick on and just lever that for turning on the inflatable boat, because I'm just going to have one motor on that. But the barrel boat, the redneck barrel boat, it's stiff, so I can put one on each side, and then just use the programming to steer by varied thrust. All right, hopefully this video turned out.